Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another episode of the Cons Cast. I've been doing episodes showcasing you guys the point of view of a new player to the franchise, an experienced player in the franchise, and more in the area of PvE. And today I have Peeverson with me to represent the PvP community. How you doing, Peeve?
Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. The closer we get to being able to discuss everything, the more excited I am. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Do you still remember our very first collab, our kind of like unofficial collab that we did?
I do. Actually, I remember your first interaction with me. Sort of. It wasn't. I don't know. I invaded you.
That's like our first unofficial collab, basically.
Yeah. I mean, even though we weren't in contact with each other, but we were in physical contact with each other. But
yeah, and here's the worst part about it is that my chat knew who you were, and they instantly start screaming.
You thought I was an NPC?
Yeah, I thought you were an NPC because I'm like, who the hell calls themselves Peeverson? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
is that?
I know.
That has to be like
that's got to be a weird NPC. Like what a
and then you had
name.
and then you had the tail of the monster that I just fought, and I didn't
the
chop
guardian, sanctuary guardian tail. Yep. I was trying to whip you with it.
Sorry guys, these are just like tales of remembrance back from the Artorias of the Abyss. No, what was it called? The Prepare to Die DLC. I even
Prepare
forget
to
what
Die, Artorias of the
Die.
Abyss. It was bold.
It was something like that. It was the first time that DLC came out, and that's when we first met. So let's talk about the Elden Ring network test. We both had access to it. How was your overall experience with it? What'd you think of the gameplay and whatnot?
That, dude, I've been just dying inside, waiting to be able to discuss it. So I think it's like the best of FromSoft. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. It definitely feels like this is something that they've kind of been building up to, because you have things that are coming in from all of the games. Like you have power stancing coming in from Dark Souls 2. You have the stealth system and jumping from Sekiro. You have all of these things just kind of coming together into one game, and it's an open world, and it's just friggin' insane and mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about the combat? How did the combat actually feel to you? Because overall, yeah, this definitely feels like something that they've been working for this whole time, but the combat specifically, in comparison with previous Souls games, how did that feel from the PvE standpoint for now?
Yeah, for now, because I've got things to say with the PvP standpoint. From the PvE standpoint, yeah, it felt great, because you have you have the I don't know if you noticed. This is something that I don't know how many people actually notice this, but in whenever it comes to R1 spam, there's a full combo string now. It's not just the old 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, there is a finishing,
and it's got a finisher. Yeah.
I was actually surprised. I first noticed it when I was testing out power stancing and whatnot, because I was just seeing, this mace, not mace the regular club that you get. I was like, okay, so I can swing it, and it just goes vertical swings, 1 2 3, and then I got the 4, and then suddenly it's I still have stamina, but it does a finishing attack, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm. And it stops you cold, and that's R1 spam may be dead. but yeah, in terms of the actual movesets, I think it adds to the overall moveset, because you have that you can power stance with another weapon of the same type. Jumping, we got a lot to talk about with jumping, I'm sure.
Yes, we do.
That's a whole thing. I was really liking mixing in. I think I'm gonna go. Normally I'm pure dex, but I think I'm gonna go with a hybrid build, because the beast claw incantation. Oh my god, I love it. It's so good, especially in PvE. It's so good, dude.
Did you play around with any of the other spells? Did you cast all of the spells at least once against an enemy?
I don't know, not all of them, but I've seen them all casted on me.
Because I'll tell you right now.
I tried the fireball. I love the fireball. I like how you could charge it. I mean, you could charge pretty much everything, but the fireball charge felt really good.
You can't
Yeah.
actually charge all of them. Some because like some
Okay.
sorceries are supposed to be like spammed instead of charged, and others are supposed to be channeled and whatnot. But yeah,
Spammed is in like
yes,
casting constantly.
yeah, like an R1
Okay.
spam. Yeah, they're
Okay.
at least it seems like they're designed like that. Like even just the most basic spell that you get if you play the Enchanted
Oh.
Knight. The
Yes,
little
yes. The
glintstone
first
thing,
one he's. Yep.
you're supposed
I
to
know
spam
exactly what
that.
I'm talking about.
And there's another one that's like an
I did use that a
archetype
bit.
spell. That one, I was talking to Cowboy, and he was telling me, yeah, that one you're also supposed to just like kind of spam, and you can throw like a bunch of like laser arc things that deal damage, and yeah. But it's just the reason I was asking you if you had cast any of those other spells is because like if you think that Beast Claw is making it to the final build the way that it is,
Oh, what you
Dude,
think it's too
there-
strong?
I know it's too strong, and you want to know why? Because
It's got insane range, and like it seems like if any of the projectiles, I didn't test this, but it feels like if any of the projectiles hit, it's full damage. That's what it seemed like.
pretty much.
It seems like it should be a shotgun blast kind of deal,
And-
but
And not
and
only
they
that,
kind of track a bit too.
because let me tell you something. Let me tell you all of the things that I noticed about Beast Claw, which is number one, it's got probably some of the best damage of all the spells that we've seen. Number two, it costs the least amount of mana out of any spell. Like that thing costs about as much
What?
mana as one of the weak ass blue spells that you have from the knight. Okay, that thing costs almost no mana in comparison with other spells. Number three, you can charge it, which increases the damage that it deals. And then on top of all that, your character crouches, and that actually reduces your hitbox before you cast. That spell is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like there's no way that's
You know,
making
now
it
that
like
you
that.
mention it, I think I may have dodged one of
Oh, yeah.
Margaret's swings with it. Yeah.
Not just that, I've dodged players with it. I've dodged mobs with it. It's crazy, dude. That thing is just
Dude.
like crazy powerful.
Now that you mention it, the being like it having like only a little bit of mana and you can like really spam it. This is a bizarre question. I know you don't know the answer. I don't either.
I do.
Do you happen to know in, let's just say, Dark Souls 3, how many times you can spam combustion if you have like an insane amount of, if you have like over 40 attunement? Do you have any idea?
Okay, I definitely don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Because I'll tell you, I farmed 200,000 runes.
Oh god.
Yeah, I farmed 200,000 runes, and I pushed everything individually, obviously. I wouldn't have enough otherwise, above 40 just to kind of see where everything landed. And for the record, Vigor, Mind, which I'm comparing it to attunement, and Endurance, they're the exact same as Vigor, Attunement, and Endurance in Dark Souls 3 in terms of like the amount you get.
Oh, okay.
Like 45 Vigor, you will have the exact same amount of health as as Unembered Dark Souls 3 at 45 Vigor. Same with Stamina, and in terms of the FP, same with Mind versus Attunement. But the point I'm getting at is whenever I boosted up Mind, I put it to I think like 48 or something because that was like the max I could do. I was like, screw it, let me do this. And then I was like, well, let me see how many casts I can do. I would have to find the footage, but dude, it was a lot. Like, I sat there spamming combustion for like 30 seconds straight before I ran out. Like it was,
Oh no.
I would have to go and count. It was like an obscene amount.
Is
of, like,
combustion good?
combustions.
Because I didn't use combustion at all in this one.
I tried to make use of it. I think it can be good, but Beast Claw is better.
Yeah, but nothing's gonna beat Beast Claw in this one. That's why I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work like that. But yeah, it's like the other thing about Mind was that I thought that Mind would potentially be for spell memory, but I don't think that's actually implemented into the game yet
Well,
because
actually, sorry to interrupt. I was talking to Ouroboros about this last night, and he said that I mean, I don't know how accurate this is. 'Cause,
Okay.
You know, this is Brandon we're talking about, so take it with a grain of salt. He's gonna kill me for that. He says that he looked at the with like the help option at what's it referred to as spell memory? Like specifically,
Mind?
like no, not mind. Like
Oh,
he
spell
went
memory.
over to
Oh, I
like
didn't
the
think of
spell
that.
memory, like the little
Yeah.
where it displays it, and it said that you unlock more memory slots through like playing the game. Like he doesn't remember exactly how it was worded, but according to him, it was essentially worded like you'll find something that will let you unlock more slots.
That's cool
So
that it's not
it
associated
seems
with the stat.
intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because initially I thought like, okay, mind is probably also going to affect, your memory. So I leveled up mind on my cleric as well to like level 20, and then I'm like, okay, so the champion has 9 mind, the cleric has 20 mind, and they both have 3 spell slots. This doesn't seem to make a whole lot of
I mean,
sense.
I went to like 48 mine, and they still got 3 slots. So.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. I actually didn't think to hover over specifically spell memory.
I
was just going through the
didn't
stats.
either. I just went through the stats, but apparently he did, and he said it
Okay.
claims you unlock it in the game.
All right. So, what'd you think about Horsey Boy? What'd you think about the Spectral Steed?
Oh, I like him. I like the name Torrent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I feel like the collector's edition should have been Torrent, not what's her name?
Yeah, the other boss that will
I mean,
eventually
don't get me
fight.
wrong, she looks cool, but I mean,
Yeah.
but Torrent, like I'm already forming a bond with him,
Yeah.
I can
He's-
feel it.
And it's like it makes me a little bit sad with the fact that they didn't implement it into multiplayer, because like that would have been cool. but
Oh,
obviously that would
like horseback fighting, yeah, PvP. That would have been nuts. That might have been
insane.
too insane, yeah.
So I remember that when we were testing when we were burning the midnight oil the other day, you hadn't really fully comprehended what the Ashes of War system was all about, but now you know.
Yeah, I missed out on that, and now I know, and I see like what I need to do during the next test for sure.
What do you think about the potential for the Ashes of War system? Because that is hands down one of my favorite new things. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, the open world's amazing." It's like, yes, you're right, but listen, let me tell you about Ashes of
Yeah.
War.
Yeah, it seems pretty nuts. You can essentially, it's like you're crafting your own weapon, and like I knew that's what it was to begin with, but I didn't realize they make it seem in the description for like each Ash of War. It's like, if you use this, it's gonna be gone forever. You won't, whenever you remove it, it'll get mega deleted. That's the impression I got, and I was like, okay, well maybe I'll wait until there's something that I want to put on to a specific weapon. But then I got my katana, which you can't use Ashes of War on, that specific katana at least. And so I just kind of forgot about it.
As I
But
heard
yeah,
that there was an interesting story as to how you somehow got 2 of those katanas.
Oh yeah. There was. But just to finish up the
Sorry.
no, it's fine. The Ashes of War. I love that you can. It's like if you want something that's like a magic item, like a magic ability, but you're like, oh, it's going to change my weapon to magic. No, it doesn't have to. You can keep
Yeah.
it standard. That's crazy, and you can still have like the spectral daggers or whatever they're called. So you can have that.
I just call that homing soul mask because that's what it is. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I found something out with that. If you are using a longsword, well, I say longsword. That's what I put it on. So whatever. I was using a longsword with that ability on it, that Ash of War on it, and I cast it. I had the little homing soul mass daggers, and then I switched off the longsword, and it was still there. And then I removed the longsword entirely, and it was still there. And then I rested at a site of grace,
And it's
it was
still there.
still there. And then I waited about like 10, 15 minutes, and it was still
doesn't
over
go
my
away.
head. It does not go away. Now, there might be some really long time limit. I don't know. From Software and their time limits, looking at you, Seed of a Tree of Giants from Dark Souls 3, lasted 2 hours for the first year of Dark Souls 3 before they nerfed it to 45 seconds. So who knows? Maybe it lasts 2 hours. I don't know. Nobody knows with FromSoft. I have no idea.
But it was pretty funny because I had Eric's was also telling me like, oh, I put this thing and then he actually removed the ashes of war from the weapon and he still had
it. Oh my god. I'm wondering if you could. Surely it would override it if there was something else similar to that, which I don't think we had in the network test, but something else similar to that homing soul mass, and then you cast that. Would it stack and you'd have two things over you? I doubt it. I hope not, because that would be insane.
You're just wishing for something that would be completely and utterly broken to just delete somebody.
No. I'm the opposite of that. Like, it's a miracle that me and Ouroboros are friends because that's what he wants. I'm always the opposite of that. Like, I don't want anything like super busted. If I'm using something and then I come to find out later that it's like super meta or super busted or whatever, I might just drop it right away. Not that I'm trying to be like, not that I'm opposed to using it. It's just I'm just like, I don't know. It's suddenly not as interesting to me. I like the underdog role, you know.
I got some bad news to you about this beast claw thing you've been using.
No, man, come on. It's nobody use it. It's trash. Anyone listening to this, it's trash.
Yeah, beast claw is terrible. Definitely,
it's real bad. It's real bad.
Totally didn't just like made a cleric and completely deleted the first mob I encountered. No, nothing like that. What's like your out of all of the features that we got to experience, like what's the favorite new feature that you were just like, okay, this one is my favorite thing ever?
Oh no, it's the Phantom Bloody Finger. I showcased it to you. Absolutely.
Oh,
like that's I know we're not trying to get into the PvP yet.
That's cool. Let's just jump into multiplayer straight from that. That was like my last question anyway. So yeah, sure, let's go.
Oh, did you want to talk about that chest?
Oh, right, the chest. I almost forgot about it. Thank you very much for reminding me. So
yeah,
it was you and who was it? You and Vati that were looking for this crazy chest? I forget.
I stumbled upon this chest because what's his name? Bach, is that his name? Demi-human Bach.
Oh yeah. The monkey. There's a monkey.
Yeah.
He's like hiding in a bush. We're not going to tell you guys where he is. So if you guys get into the network test and
he's
try
camouflaged,
good luck finding him. But try finding him. He's like camouflaged. So yeah, there's a monkey in there, and he tells you about how he's going to go into a cave and whatnot and get something for you, right?
Right. And he the way I came across this, which this is like a full blown mystery. That's why I figured you wanted to discuss it.
Yes.
It's So I'm like, okay, he's gone to the cave, right? He said he was going to the cave. I've already been there before. All right, let me go there. He was nowhere to be found. Like, I'd already like beaten the boss there and stuff, and he was nowhere to be found. I'm like, where is he? And then I remembered
I'll tell you one thing to add some more context to that, because when I saw you guys talking about the monkey, because I was making another character, I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I already know which cave he's talking about, so I'm going to go talk to him before I go into the cave.
You did the reverse of it, yeah.
Yeah, so I talked with him, and then I went to the cave, and I didn't see anything special. Shit. No.
Yeah, so here's where I got like big brain plays. I was like, okay, he sounded very scared. He sounded very nervous. He wants to go and get this treasure for us, but he's like super scared about everyone and everything that's in there. I'm going to kill all the enemies. Maybe he'll show up, because it shows on the map at that point that he is there. So
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, he's hiding. So I kill all the enemies in the cave. Nothing. I'm like, what? But I realize there's some demi-humans hanging outside the cave. I'm like, well, I'm going to kill them too. I kill them too. Nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just go down the beach a bit. And along the beach, there are those giant, they're called land octopuses.
Yes.
Yeah, I kill the land octopuses, and I go back into the cave, and suddenly, at the end of the boss room, which that boss drops no items, there's like nothing of interest to find in the cave otherwise.
Yeah.
After killing the two land octopuses on the beach, I don't know if it's one or the other. I kill them both, whatever. There was a chest in that boss room. I'm like, there's no way this was here before. What the hell? I open it up. There's an item inside, like a glowing item. I loot the item. Nothing. I don't get any kind of pop-up. There's nothing happened aside from I picked up a glowy thing and nothing got added to my inventory that I could tell. Then I'm like, what the hell? And so then I start going insane trying to figure out more and more about it. And I let everyone else know, in our little chat, and Vadi's getting into it. Who else was getting into it? I think Pineapple was getting into it.
I asked about it, but you guys were like too busy looking at it, and I was like, oh, I don't know what these guys are talking about. No goddamn chest, whatever.
Yeah. So like we're trying to figure it out, and then it got to the point to where I realized that boss could actually be. You don't have to actually fight that boss. You can seemingly. They have all the bushes in the boss room. You can actually sneak past them. So then I'm like, I've got to try this. So on another character, because after you loot that chest, it's over. Like you loot the chest, it'll vanish if you sit at a site of grace again. But if you go kill those land octopuses a second time and you go back, the chest will be there, but it's already opened. So then I start a new character, and I go back there, and I decide I'm going to try to loot the chest without aggroing anything in the room. So took way too long. I finally make it to the chest because I'm having to go and kill the octopuses. If I mess up, I didn't open the chest, I would reset. I'd go kill the octopuses again. I'd go back in the cave. And then I managed to sneak past all the enemies, including the bosses, because they're roaming too. One's taking a nap. The other one's patrolling. I managed to sneak up to the chest, which there's 2 enemies on either side of the chest as well. I managed to not aggro them. I open it up. I grab the item. Same shit. The boss aggro's on me immediately after, and I'm just like, I don't get it. So, as far as I know, Demi-Human Bach is somewhere in that cave hiding. Maybe you have to, because if you stealth past everything, the fog wall at the end doesn't appear. So it seems like you could potentially go through the entire boss room and out the other side without aggroing anything. As soon as you aggro them, the fog wall appears. So maybe you have to try to get out of the cave. I don't know. I have no idea. But
it's like, see, that's the type of stuff that I'm really excited about, because one of the things that I noticed, did you see the Black Knight?
On the horse on the bridge. Yeah.
On the bridge, yeah. Because like,
yeah, he's awesome.
That was another thing that I was like, okay, so this dude only spawns in this place
at
and
night.
only at night, which means it's no longer going to be the case where, oh, I've explored this area, I know the stuff that is in here. It's like you're probably going to have to talk to NPCs and be like, trying to gather information to figure out if there's an event that could potentially happen at a certain time of day. There's going to be all kinds of things. I was trying to
mix and match with times of day, but like I couldn't really find anything of significance other than the Black Knight. I'm sure there's other stuff. There's got to be other stuff that we didn't find, even after all that time.
But I think they probably didn't put everything in this build like on purpose so that we don't find every single thing.
It's very possible that item I looted just wasn't added for the network test, but God, that it doesn't make sense that I loot an item and nothing happens. That's bizarre,
dude. I know exactly what the item
case.
Was, dude. I know
but
exactly
I think Bach is hiding in there. What?
Listen, the item is the talisman from Dark Souls 1.
The talisman from Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, dude.
Why?
The one that doesn't do anything.
Wait, you mean the pendant?
Yeah, the pendant, whatever. The thing that people ask
like the talisman.
They asked like Miyazaki. No. They asked like Miyazaki, which one is your favorite like gift? And he's like,
and he said the pendant.
Yeah, pendant's good.
Bastard. He had the entire community trying to. Dude, it's Dark Souls 1 days. Yeah, I'm sure. Dark Souls 1 days. I would start with a pendant and just go try. I wanted to be the one to figure it out. So I even got. I got baited by that as well.
It's so
bastard.
Good. I love that. Okay, let's get into the actual multiplayer. You're the PvP specialist. So what was the multiplayer like for you? Because I'm assuming you did the most multiplayer out of all of us.
I did. I think that's safe to say. We started out with like duels, fight clubs, etc. And that was great. Everything feels good. I don't know. We don't know yet how it's gonna be in the sense of like because like combos don't really seem to be a thing. Like in Dark Souls 3, like hit someone with like a say you have like a two-handed katana, you hit someone, you're gonna get like another guaranteed hit, you know, and you can combo into other stuff with like the stagger. But now at least it feels like if you get hit by virtually anything, you can roll away after the first hit. So
Did you
I
try
don't
without?
know.
Did you try without armor?
I don't know if I think one of us tried without armor, but like I was wearing like all cloth armor, so it wouldn't have been a poise thing, and especially because we did test poise, and poise in Elden Ring seems to work, at least in the build we played, seems to work like Dark Souls 1 poise. Because me and Pineapple tested that, Iron Pineapple, he put on the heaviest armor, which is what you get out of the caravan. He put all that on, and he was able to tank a two-handed R1 from my katana. But if I switched to like the bastard sword with like a one-handed R1, it would stagger him. So like two-handed R1, I hit him. He does like a little flinch motion, but he could still like it doesn't stop him from like moving. So he's essentially like phasing through it like in Dark Souls 1 poise. But the thing is, it's like if you can like roll away from most things after the first swing anyway, and he even tried to backstab punish me, and he would get behind my back and initiate the backstab, but because it's kind of like Dark Souls 3 backstabs, where like the vacuum stab isn't really a thing, I was able to just kind of strafe to the side and avoid it. It's also possible that might change whenever the actual version releases, because anything with latency, I say just don't believe anything until we see the launch version, because every single time we all get excited, all the PvP guys are like, the phantom range feels great or non-existent. Oh, the parry timings are like on point. Like, every single time we get baited by it.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something about. You remember when we were testing stuff and I fought that guy with the that had the spell with the big pokey sword.
The spell with the big pokey sword.
Yeah, there's a spell that you can do with the Enchanted Knight that basically transforms the catalyst into a big sword, and then he does like a thrusting motion.
Right, he does like a stab. Yeah.
Dude, the last hit that guy did on me, like I wasn't even in the same zip code as where that hit landed. Okay.
Really? Well, you know what? I'm not surprised.
I am in Portugal, so you know there is that to it. So maybe I was lagging a little bit more than everybody else.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say whenever it comes to Phantom Range stuff, it's probably business as usual. But otherwise, it all felt it felt good. I think whenever it comes to like the actual combat and stuff, while it's kind of tough to get a feel for it because we all spec'd into like vigor, because there's no point going into like strength or dex because like we're only +3 weapons, you know. So everyone's got like. Brandon at one point, Ouroboros, he had 34 vigor. He had 34 vigor on his character that I was fighting, and I'm fighting him with like +3 weapon with like 11 dex. so of course I'm doing like no damage to him. So it's kind of hard in that sense to get a feel for like the balance of everything. But so I think it could be good. There's more of like a maybe some more footsies at play than just everyone going for a one-shot combo, you know?
Yeah. The one of the things that I'm curious, because I don't engage that much in PvP. So you were talking about the vacuum effect of Dark Souls 1 versus Dark Souls 3, where you can kind of just like strafe to the side to avoid backstab. I would assume that what the community prefers is the Dark Souls 3 method because nobody likes getting vacuumed into a backstab, correct?
Right. I would say yes, but it also presents other issues, like it's really hard to punish heals in Dark Souls 3 to a frustrating extent, especially against gank squads. While in Dark Souls 1, they try to chug in front of you, you punish them with the backstab. You know, it's like backstabs in Dark Souls 1 were great for punishing sloppy play, but they were so strong that the end game, like the ultimate meta, was just like someone like backstabs you, and then you backstab, escape their backstab, and then you backstab the backstab. And it was like the elephant in the room that you had to constantly be aware of and tiptoeing around. You know, it was a bit too powerful, but without it, it's been really tough to like punish heals and
defensive
stuff.
play, yeah.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Now, I'm curious as to what was the overall feel for all of you guys that do a lot of PvP when you realize that in order to use heavy armor, you're going to need to pump strength.
Yeah, because the equipment load is tied to strength. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started messing with the stats whenever I had 200,000 runes. I you know what? I didn't even consider until you said this. Like I noticed it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Strength would be, equipment load. But I didn't consider my own builds.
Yeah, because that's going to have implications in PvP for sure. Because
absolutely, builds like if you want to have like say like bit heavier armor or like multiple weapons or something without having to swap it to your menu all the time. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to pump a bit of strength. Well, then again, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the equipment load is still like Dark Souls 3 equipment load, where medium roll is fine. You can fast roll below 30%, but medium roll is like that's fine. So I don't think it'll be too demanding, but yeah, maybe. Because you're not going for a strength build, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I was super surprised because I played the Enchanted Knight because he's got like the best shield in that game, and I was like, dude, this shield's so good. All the other shields in the game freaking suck right now, but this guy, he's got the best shield. So I was playing Enchanted Knight, and suddenly I'm like, okay, I want to equip this lance, and just like with the armor that he brings on, you equip the lance. Nope, that's it. Boom, done. Instantly fat roll, and I was like, oh heavy, no, this sucks.
Yep. I mean, I was managed to get full armor and 2 katanas and a buckler, so I had to mix and match armor sets, but I was able to pull that off on the warrior class, which has like 11 strength. So that's good. But you know who does have the best shield in the game? It's not that. It's the what's his name? It's like the tree guardian or something, like the
tree
first.
Sentinel?
Yeah, the tree sentinel, that first asshole you see out the gate. Did
you get one shot by reflect?
Whenever I was getting summoned by you, I was trying to get summoned by you, and some rando pulled me in on. I was trying to give you that shield. Yeah.
Oh
I was trying to give you the Enchanted Knight shield, and I get summoned in, and I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I'm level 5. I don't even know what I'm doing on this character, and this dude wanted help with the tree sentinel or whatever, and so I start pew-pewing my lasers at him. He does the thing where his shield glows. One of my lasers hits the shield while it's glowing, and it instantly shoots a massive laser beam off the shield and onto the host.
Oh no! You deleted the host with a spell.
It didn't kill him. He died soon after, but it took off a lot of his health.
It didn't kill him, but it sure as hell didn't help.
Right. I shot a little pew-pew laser at that dude, and he sent it at the host. I watched it just take a 90-degree angle off his shield, and I couldn't even see the host. Like, I'm going to put the clip in my footage, but I didn't even see the host. He was off to the side. I just heard, ugh, and then I saw his health go down. I was like, what?
Yeah, dude.
Really? I hit the host by bouncing it off his shield? God damn it. So that's the best shield right there.
And
we don't
the
have
best
it, though.
part, the best part is that your little dinky winky spell deals like 30 damage or something ridiculous.
It was certainly amplified. It was certainly amplified.
Yeah.
I'll say that, because it took off more than 30 damage from him.
It gets like I got shot by that laser a couple of times, and I was like, that thing ain't no joke. That thing is not a joke at all.
Yeah, it amplifies it for sure. But yeah, my I wanted to get back to this. My favorite part about everything, favorite like new mechanic we've seen is the Phantom Bloody Finger. That's a game changer, dude. Absolute game changer.
I saw it.
I showed it to you. Yeah, you did.
Explain it, dude, because I saw it. I was like, dude, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Okay. So Rory didn't know of it yet, and this was near the very end of the test, and I was having. Thankfully, Rory was like, "Yeah, I'll help you test a few things." So we were testing some invasion stuff, and I was telling him about it. He's like, "No, I don't know what that is." I was like, "Charge me." Like, what? I'm like, "Attack me, free shot." He's like, "Okay." He rushes me down, ninja vanish. I'm gone. Just phase out of existence, and suddenly I'm on top of a cliff. I'm like, "Hey, up here." And he's like, "What? What was that?" Phantom Bloody Finger is something invaders get where you get 10 of them per invasion. And whenever you use it, it'll respawn you. It's like a what? Like, I got to check my footage, but it's like a 2-second cast time, and it gets hyper armor.
Did you have hyper armor for the entire cast time?
Yeah, you do. It can be broken. It can be broken. But yeah, and Vadi and I believe Infa did some extra testing with it, and they said that like if you don't have any armor on, you don't get any hyper armor with it. So it seems to kind of be based off of your poise or something. I don't know.
We'll get into the other stuff. Keep going.
Yeah. So it respawns you in a different location close to the host. Not too close, but so if you're getting like charged like by a gank squad, you can cast that, and then suddenly they don't know where you are. You respawn in a location a good distance away from them, but near them, and they have no idea where you are unless they saw you respawn. And you can heal up. You can I think me and Pineapple did this unintentionally. We both used it at the same time, and we respawned in the same spot. So I don't know if you and another invader using it
with other invaders.
It seems like you might be able to sync up with other invaders using it and like regroup, heal up, buff up, whatever you need to do. Or if you're up against something tough, a tough group, you do that and then maybe like wait for backup or something like that. It is one hell of a game changer for invaders. Like.
It's basically instant transmission. That's almost
it really is.
If they added that sound, it would be so good. You're just like, and then it's just gone.
It's a bit too slow of an animation for that, but it's the same effect. Yeah, and I love that. Like, dude, you can actually. I tested it with you as well. I ran across the map, or a good chunk across the map, used it, and it put me near you again. So if maybe the host gets away from you or something, or gains like a bunch of ground, you can catch up to him.
What's the stack size for that? Did it say? Because sometimes they'll tell you what the stack size is. It's just 10? No, I mean, you get 10 per invasion, you said. But is the maximum you can carry 10?
I mean, I don't think. No. Whenever the invasion's over, is out of your inventory.
Oh, so you just get it when you invade. You have 10 charges. That's
only during the invasion. Yep.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that's the way
it appears in your hotbar.
I wonder if that's just the way they did that just for the event, or what the deal is, because they did some functionality. That
I think it's a Covenant item.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta be.
Because like they did some functionality there that was definitely like Covenant items, like the thing with Way of Blue and the Blue Sentinels. Because essentially you had that functionality in the game. It's like, oh, I want to be Way of Blue, so if anybody invades me, I want to toggle this option, and then instantly summon somebody to help me.
Do you think that's you're going to need like a Covenant? You're going to need to find the Covenant to get that first? Or do you think it's just that's how it is now?
I mean, I think you'd have to find a Covenant. I'm pretty sure that they just put those items there to test the multiplayer aspects of it, so that it would be easier.
True. But it's...
especially if you describe it...
I hope you don't have to be in the Covenant to use it. I hope you could just freely use it like we were able to.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you think about it, particularly if you see just the type of functionality that it is, it's literally Way of the Blue and Blue Sentinels. That's literally what those two things are. Because I was actually looking it up afterwards. I'm like, this is just Way of Blue and Blue Sentinels. That's what it is. Yeah, that system was in there. And And then we also have summoning pools, which we also did a little bit of testing of. Now, summoning
I
pools,
tested summoning pools up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Summoning pools, for those of you who don't know, is basically these little statues that you unlock, and you have to unlock them. That was the thing that I wasn't doing, and that's why some of our tests was like, this isn't working. It's like, well, yeah, you have to actually walk up to them and then click. I think that those things would be way better if you would just like, hey, you walk past one, it's unlocked, kind of like a stake of Marika, whatever, the respawn statue.
You know what? That explains something. I've been trying to wrap my head around how I was able to summon you before Margit, while Margit was dead in my world. I was able to summon you as a regular summon, and we even were able to go into the boss room a bit. While we tried something similar, I don't know if it was you or someone else, we tried something similar while I was trying to summon somebody in a dungeon that I'd already beaten, and I wasn't able to summon them. So I was like, how is it that I could summon you there, which technically counts as a dungeon, as far as I can tell, versus in a normal dungeon? And I just realized, I bet you it's because whoever I was trying to summon didn't have
unlock.
that summoning pool active. That's
You need
probably what it
to
was,
activate
yeah.
the summoning pools, but basically the way that summoning pools work is like you
By
unlock
that time,
them,
we didn't know that. Yeah.
After you unlock the summoning pools, you can just send your summon sign to a bunch of different summoning pools, and it just spreads throughout a large section of the map, so it increases the chances of you being summoned. If you want to do like Jolly Cooperation or duels or whatever, you can just put the summoning sign and it goes to the pool. You don't even have to be close to the pool. You just have to be in the general vicinity of the area you want to be summoned in, and you send
sorry to interrupt, but it as far as I could tell, it sends it to anywhere, to any pool in the entire.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
so-
it'll be any pool like in the world. I'll think it'll be like any pool in the zone that you're at.
Well, I mean, we don't know that.
Yeah,
yet.
we don't know that yet. It's just I would imagine that if I put my stuff in a pool, it's not going to be like at the open world zone near the final boss of the game. It's like,
Right,
oh, yeah,
right.
welcome to the final boss. How you doing, dude?
I mean,
Strap up, we're going on an adventure.
dude, I don't know. If I go through the game, if I go through the entire game and I unlock all the summoning pools,
yeah. Then it makes sense. But
I
like,
kind of wouldn't mind that, you know? But on the other hand, if you want to be specific about, if it's an entire massive zone like what we had for the network test, if that's
It's still
all
pretty good.
one thing and there's like a few of those, then you could just teleport to whichever one you want to be in at that moment. That wouldn't be too bad, especially considering what we had before where it's like, go drop your sign in a not obscure location. Good luck having someone actually see it.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
No,
that's,
summoning pools is really cool for just random co-op.
super cool. Yeah.
The other thing I meant to ask you is like, so there's no poise stat that we've seen so far. Do you think that robustness could be what they're referring to as poise? Because it kind of sounds like it.
Well, that's a tough answer because in the gameplay trailer we saw, they had a poise stat in there. It was in the menu. It said poise. But in the build we had,
There was no poise.
it wasn't there. Now it was active. We tested it. It is implemented. Interestingly enough, Vadi also tested it, and he tested it in PvE specifically, and he claims that it doesn't work in PvE in the network test for whatever reason. Like he was getting staggered by everything. I don't know.
Because
That's weird.
they say that endurance increases your increases your
Robustness?
stamina and increases your physical defense and robustness.
Robustness.
Yeah, at least I think it's called robustness. Actually, wait, I have a document here that I typed
I saw
into.
the description for endurance said something about like I think something about fall damage and
No. That's dexterity.
Robustness.
You're confusing it with dexterity. Here, I'll read it to you.
I
I have
am.
it right here. Endurance, stamina, physical defense, power, and robustness. Yeah, it's just straight up robustness. Whatever that's. It's such a weird translation thing. This is going to improve
soft.
your robustness. It's like, okay, I guess I'm more.
it makes you
robust.
overall healthier. I guess I don't know. You have a glow about you.
And there was also something in mind which said focus related resistance. Made me wonder if that was like some kind of like, it keeps you from being interrupted while spell casting or something. I don't know.
Really? Focus related it sounds like maybe you get hyper armor during spells. The higher your mind is, that would be nuts.
Because like that was in the mind stat, and I was just wondering like, I don't know what this is. Focus related.
I mean, I pumped it to 48, but I didn't go fighting anything, you know. So
yeah, it might do that. See, guys, this is the thing. We can't possibly test every little thing. There was just so much, and there was like over 10 hours of content. This was the hilarious part, because like I think it was like Friday afternoon, and I'm just like relaxing. Like I haven't even logged in to the game yet because I'm not even concerned.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah. Because like I was super relaxed. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna log in a bit, and I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be like 1 hour. And then what do I do? I'm browsing Twitter, and I see a tweet from this guy called Peeve, and he says, "I've played 16 hours. I'm going back in." And I was like, wait, 60?
What?
Okay, I know that Peeve is crazy. I know that he's crazy, but 16 hours seems a little bit much, even for Peeve. I logged in that second, and then I realized, oh, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yep, dude. At like hour 10, I'm like, okay, all right, time to get into PvP. I've experienced, I think I've done everything. And then like around like hour like 16 or 18. One of you guys in the chat was like, "Oh, dude, that encounter." I'm like, "Wait, what?" It's like, no, you don't know about that. I'm like,
that's probably me.
What?
I was finding all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh yeah, this cavern. There's this thing over there, and the other thing over there. It's like, yeah. And the Bloodhound Knight, and the Colossus dude. And when I was like, "What the hell?" Dude?
That kept happening, and I'm like, "Oh my god." Okay, so the more and more time passed, the more I realized just how much I missed in my 10 hours.
Yep.
Granted, I was on like minimal sleep, and I think I had like 3 hours of sleep whenever I first started the test. I was like, screw it, I'm going in.
Dude.
And then I stayed up like a total of 20 hours that day, and then I slept for 4 hours, and then I stayed up for 30 hours, and then I slept 4 hours, and then I stayed up for another 20. Dude, and then I slept 16 hours.
and I haven't gotten to sleep my 16 hours yet because I've been obsessed over this 30-minute video that by the time this goes up, the video will be out. And I hope that people have watched the damn thing, because I've spent an ungodly amount of time working on it. It's crazy.
Oh man. But whenever it comes to the content, it's there. The open world was so good because it's like you feel like, oh yeah, well, I've explored everything, but there's always something you missed. There's very likely something you missed, and even whenever I've over 50 hours in Elden Ring now, and it's all in that one area. And granted, a lot of it is me like trying to connect to PvP and stuff. That was one of my biggest complaints is invaders. I got like one invasion that wasn't like pre-planned, and it was one of the guys from our group. It was Inkfoot. So like
it's the thing about invasions, I'm actually a little bit disappointed with it, and that's the fact that it's turned off by default.
What do you mean? You mean you have to use the
you have to use the
lure them in.
The tongue. It was the Taunter's tongue or whatever it was.
Taunter's tongue, which is like the dried finger 2.0.
It's like a dried finger basically, guys. But it's like if you don't use that, you can actually use the item to enable multiplayer, and you're still never going to get invaded.
Yep. Unless
you summon someone. If you summon someone, then you can get invaded. But it's like, that just means that invaders are always going to be, by default, they're always going to be walking into ganks, which I don't think is particularly interesting. Like, I know that people have different feelings about this, and it's like, look, whenever it comes to that stuff to me, it's like, look, if you don't want to get invaded, don't play online. It's that simple. It's literally that, especially in this one, it's super easy because you don't even need to summon other players. You can have spirits, and you summon the spirits, and you don't even, that's that. So to me, it's like, I really wish that if you are online, there should be chances of you getting invaded. I think that's just part of the experience, and I think it's cool.
There might be like a Covenant area later. They like to do that, and they'll add a Covenant area where you're gonna get invaded. So I'm expecting something like that. But to be honest, it's pretty much Dark Souls 3 again, because Dark Souls 3, Illusory Wall did some testing way back, I think around like Dark Souls 3 release or soon after, and found out that I don't know the specifics, but it's like if you'll get invaded once in Dark Souls 3, and then after that initial invasion, you will not get invaded again until you like reset the game or something ridiculous like that. So basically, you could go R summon, or use dried finger.
Yeah.
So basically, you could go through like the entire game, your entire first playthrough, having only been invaded once in Dark Souls 3.
It's not the whole game, because like I'd imagine you'd pause the game, and not pause, but you'd quit the game at some point to go.
I'm saying if you burn through it. But yeah.
Okay, nobody.
If you
nobody's
spend like 60
burning
hours
through Dark
awake.
Souls 3, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, but no, it's we're as invaders, we're kind of used to that, not getting solo host unless they're using like dried finger or something. So, but on the other note, I realized, like the what is it called, the furl calling finger, which is like the barrier to entry for like multiplayer altogether.
Yeah, the fur calling.
It's Dark Souls
remedy.
1 humanity. It really is Dark Souls 1 humanity. Because that's how I felt going from Demon Souls to Dark Souls 1. I was like, wait, you don't...
I compared it more to the Ember in Dark Souls 3 because you can use it anywhere. You don't need to be at a bonfire to reverse your hollowing or whatever. You can just use it anywhere.
But
the difference is it doesn't affect your max health.
Yeah, that's the big thing, though, because that's a risk-reward mechanic. It's like you can go, and Demon Souls is like that as well, where you can go through not getting invaded, not summoning anyone, whatever, that's what you want to do. But there are points where it's like you're struggling, you're like, man, I could use that extra health. And it might influence you to do that. I remember going into Dark Souls 1, and one of my first disappointments with Dark Souls 1 was no one's going to ever, why would anyone ever reverse hollow? But they do have it where if you want to kindle a bonfire, you reverse hollow. But aside from that, there's really, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, unless you're trying to summon. Yeah. Same thing with the furl calling finger, except it's like even less of an incentive because, as far as we know, it's not related to like kindling sites of grace or anything, which isn't a thing as far as we know. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, but I think whenever we get more people in, especially in the next network test, some of the gank squads get in on it, then we'll really get to try out invasions. But for the most part, it had to be set up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think there were that they gave access to that many people, and obviously a lot of the mainstream media people are like, "Oh, I don't want to do PvP." There's some crazy people in that Dark Souls community, man. I don't want nothing to do with that. Those guys are crazy.
Yeah, dude, it was funny. There were so many names I was recognizing from like whenever I would either do co-op or invasions or whatever. I recognized quite a few names I had IDs on. Yeah, it was interesting.
I gotta be honest. Cowboy made me do someone dirty. I felt a little bit bad for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was trying to summon Cowboy. We were like doing duels, and suddenly I just tell him, "Oh, I see a summon sign from somebody else. I don't know who this person is." And he's like, "Oh, summon them! I'm gonna invade!" And I was
you told me about this. Yeah.
So like I summon this guy, and then I pretend like we're just gonna go to the beach and start like attacking stuff. Then suddenly in comes Cowboy, and he's just like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome! I can see where the host is because there's like an actual marking on your compass letting you know where the host is." And he's just like tracking me down and fighting the other guy, and I think the other guy like jumped off a cliff or something like that and he died. It's just like what?
Oh no!
He ended up dying, the poor guy. But it's like that was one of the few ways that you had of actually having fun during that build, because almost nobody was really like doing that much multiplayer unless it was us.
Yeah, you were getting like no invasions unless it was us.
I tried getting summoning as well to see if I could help somebody or something. Nothing. I sent my
I got a ton of random co-op through the summoning pools.
I only got co-op. I did like 2 things with Cowboy. I think,
what level were you?
It.
Whenever you're trying to get random co-op.
22, I think.
I was doing it. I made a new character
just
specifically
to
be low level.
That would have probably been
I was level 14, and I was getting. A lot of people needed help with Margit. A lot of people,
dude. I'm not gonna lie. Margit was challenging. Like if I hadn't used like a spirit, I think I would have been stuck there for a couple of hours. But I just popped.
Yeah,
the spirit.
A lot of people were struggling with that. Also, depending on whenever you try to do the co-op stuff, maybe at that point you didn't know you needed to activate the summoning pools yet.
Yeah, there's that.
So you may have been sending them to like 2 pools, 2 random ass pools,
probably
and nowhere else.
And here's the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, I might have just been sitting literally outside the summoning pool of Margit, never activated it, and sent my sign to like the first step.
Yeah, it was probably only there because you had to grab the item. Yeah.
I might have done that
God.
now that I think about that.
Yeah, and it's such an like.
It's easy to miss.
They didn't
because-
make it clear, you know.
Yeah, they
Like,
didn't. Like I thought it
click
was like,
on
oh,
it, you know.
yeah, I
you
thought
have to click on all. Of
As
them.
a matter of fact, you remember I was telling you in chat. I'm like, guys, my character's broken. I can't use the effigy. You remember I told you that?
I don't remember. It was all whirlwind.
Yeah, but it's like I was basically typing in our chat, and I'm like, guys, my character's broken. I really need to fix this character. I don't know what's going on. I can't use the effigies. I can't send my sign to the
Oh
summoning
yeah.
pools.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, I can't send it. I don't know what's going on. And then eventually, when we started testing stuff, I was like, oh wait, I have to click these. Oh.
Yep. And you have to get really, really close to them.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like for it to even
Otherwise it doesn't
suggest
even tell. It won't even tell you, which is weird.
Yeah, the little prompt. You have to be like on the summoning pool, and it's like, oh, what? Oh, I can click triangle on it, and it's like, you turned on the summoning pool. It's like, oh, all right, cool. I need to plug it in, I guess.
just plug in the summoning pool. Otherwise, it's not going to have enough
if you don't-
battery.
Exactly. If you don't push the power button, then it's not going to work.
Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Like, is there anything that you still wanted to say about the multiplayer, about the whole experience, like your final thoughts on Elden Ring so far?
I think there's an important detail you're missing.
Okay, go for it.
Something involving jumping up and down a bit.
Oh damn, dude, you're so right. Yep, I told you, dude. My brain is not working today. So we did some multiplayer testing on the jump at your request, because I had no idea what you were talking about. You're like, listen, I just need
I
you to
felt like
swing.
no one had really tested it properly
Yeah.
yet.
Okay, so tell us about this jumping situation that we're in.
Well, as many of the people listening know, Elden
There's a
Ring
jump
has the ability to jump. Yeah, you can, and I mean, you could always jump in Dark Souls, but this is like you can just bounce up and down all you want, you know? And you can do like, instead of like in past games, if you jump off a certain height, you can do like a plunging attack. You can just attack from the air now. And we were mixing it up in PvP, absolutely. Like everyone's jumping around trying to hit each other, and at one point
Because
we're like, oh, it seems
it's
that
important
hyper
to
armor,
mention.
you know.
It's important to mention
Yeah.
that jumping attacks also kind of like take a little bit of the place of kick, because even though kick is still there by using a weapon art of bare hands, you know, you don't have your easy kick that you can just like forward R1 kick. So jumping is a way to get guard damage in, because it deals additional guard damage.
Yeah. So we're trying to mix it in PvP, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is kind of funny. I don't know how this is gonna be. You know, only time will tell." But then it was near the end of the test, and I'm like, "Man, like someone on Twitter,
Someone asked you if you could jump over
I took
attacks.
questions. I took questions on Twitter about things to test, you know, just in case there was something I was missing that seemed important. And someone was like, "Can you jump over a horizontal swing?" And I was like, you know what? Maybe there's like some hitbox porn involved. That could work. Turns out there's a bit more than hitbox porn. Turns out the hitbox doesn't even matter. It's just full on iframe. And we realized that whenever I had Rory test with me, and I'm like, okay, just swing at me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it looks like I'm jumping over it. Okay, cool, you could jump over it. And it's like, well, wait, that swing looked a bit angled. How did that not hurt me? And then it got to the point where it's like, oh my God, it's just full-blown iframes. I can just jump through all of your attacks.
So I was actually thinking about this afterwards, because like initially when I saw that, like right in front of me, my visceral reaction is like, okay, this is broken. They have to do something about this jumping thing. But I've been thinking about it more.
It's kind of like dodging.
It's like dodging.
Kinda like rolling.
It's essentially like a dodge, because ultimately if you mistimed it, I would still hit you. It's just we were literally syncing up on Discord, and we were like, okay, I'm going to swing now. Okay, here it goes. And you're like, you were expecting it. You're literally standing in front of me. It's not like a duel situation. So in a duel, I don't think it's going to be as easy for people to just jump through it. So I still have a bit mixed feelings about it, though, because it looks a little bit goofy. But then again, so does dodging all over the place. So I don't know.
Yeah, as far as we could tell, jump attacks can't be parried. So, I don't know. I don't know how unless we screwed something up with our testing. That's the one thing where I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe it's a bit stronger than dodging. But the thing is, if you're jumping like that, and you like, if I'm jumping like that in front of you, dodging all your stuff, and you like do a
charge attack,
mix in like a charge like R2 or something, I'm likely going to art. Like I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, or a weapon art or something like that. I'm likely gonna eat that. But so
there's,
you could, I guess,
so
you could
there's
also
disadvantages to it.
Jump as well.
Basic. Yeah, but it is weird because it does look a little bit goofier than normal for Dark Souls combat, just like jumping all over the place, and I kind of feel.
I got used to it pretty quick. I thought it looked stupid. I was like, this looks like a modded, like it's like a hyper modded Dark Souls 3. Like, look, I'm modded in jumping. Like that's what it kind of resembled. But whenever you get in the game and you're kind of like,
it's
okay,
like
this is helping me
in
with
single
terrain,
player.
You get used to it.
In single player, I feel like the jump is fine. Like, yeah, if you just like start jumping up and down like an idiot, then yeah, it looks a little bit ridiculous. But if you're just like using it to navigate the map, I think it looks fine. But in PvP, it'll be weird if people are just like friggin' bunnies, just like bounce, bounce.
It's kind of cool that you can jump away. So you can like jump back to like space yourself out. I think that could be kind of cool. Part of me does also like the idea that you and someone else can jump at each other and slash each other in midair, Ninja Gaiden, NES Ninja Gaiden style. I kind of like that potential, but it's gonna be goofy, and ultimately, until like enough people get their hands on it and like PvP really starts to get dirty, like. We don't know exactly how busted it's going to be or not.
Yeah. My other concern is also going to be like how secure it's going to be on the PC side of things, because it always seems like the Dark Souls, particularly the PvP community, ends up getting the short end of the stick, like getting hackers all over the place in Souls games.
Jumping's not going to matter. They're going to be flying.
Exactly.
Exactly. What are you talking about? That's not going to matter.
They're just going to fly.
Yeah, they're just going to fly up into the air. Like.
Oh, man. But, yeah, that's Elden Ring. That's the PvP experience brought to you by Peeverson. There's going to be links to his to Twitch.
Wow. How dare you?
I was going to say Twitch, but it came out. It wasn't.
Shit.
No, it wasn't.
TV,
no. It was going to be. It started with a T. Shit. You get. I'm so
close enough. I mean, same thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be links to Peeve's stuff in the description, so make sure to check him out. Follow him on Twitch, and actually use your Twitch Prime on him. If you have Amazon Prime, go to Twitch. Use Twitch Prime.
Thank you.
And then,
I'd appreciate
and then
that.
follow his YouTube as well to force him into making YouTube videos, because he's been slacking off on that.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's gonna come back to bite you in the
happen.
ass. So this is a wake up call, Peeve. It's an intervention.
Yeah. Oh, is that what this was? Oh, damn it.
But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.